Today we're going to learn our last lesson of chapter 1 and 2 called mean absolute deviation. Your calculator is going to do all the work again today, but you're going to have to know what buttons to push, so you need to pay attention. The first thing you want to check is that you're not in SCI or rounding mode. So everybody go to mode. Make sure that you are on normal. So normal should be black. So if you're not on normal, go to normal and hit enter. And then make sure float is black. Make sure normal is black. If it isn't, then hit enter over normal. So for example, if it looks like this, everybody look, I'm in scientific mode. I don't want that. I want to be in normal. So I go to normal and hit enter. And then you're checking to make sure float is black because we're not rounding today. Is everybody okay? All right, second quit. All right, mean absolute deviation. Y'all remember hearing the word mean in 6th grade? Y'all's calculators should be put down. When I start teaching, everybody's focus should be here. Do y'all remember learning the word mean in 6th grade? Who remembers what mean is? It has like there was that was the median. So what was mean? Does anybody remember? Mean is average. So teachers do your mean every single day. We're looking at y'all's average as students. Yes? Okay, so what is mean absolute deviation? Mean absolute deviation is the average distance between each data value and the average of the data set. There are 3 steps to finding the mean absolute deviation. Mean absolute deviation includes the average, so that's going to be step 1. Okay, you're going to have to follow these 3 steps. Step 1, what does it say? That's what you learned in 6th grade. Find the average. To find the average, write this down. You add all the numbers. Then divide by how many are there. Y'all should remember this now from 6th grade, yes or no? To find the average, you add all the numbers, then divide how many are there. So for example, if I have 5 grades in my grade book from you, I add those 5 grades. So let's say you made 190 and 80, 100 and 100. I would add all those up. And then I would divide by 5 because there's 5 grades, and that gives me your average in my class. Does that make sense? That is what you're doing for step 1. You add the numbers up, then divide by how many are there. So if there's 3 numbers, you divide by 3. If there's 4 numbers, you divide by 4, and so forth. Okay? That is only step 1. That's the 6th grade part. Are y'all listening to me? What does step 2 say? You're going to take that answer you got from step 1 and you're going to subtract it from each number in your list. But you're not going to write a negative if you get a negative. So if you get a -5, you're just going to write 5. And you're going to make a new list of numbers. See that? You're going to make a new list. Then step 3, you're going to average your new list. You're going to do step 1 all over again to the new list. So is this going to be hard? No. What's going to do all the work? The calculator. All you have to do is push the buttons incorrectly. Okay? If you like this and you're good at this, there are jobs that punch in numbers and they make a lot of money. They're like data analysis. All right, so we're going to do these 3 steps to this list of numbers. Are y'all ready? If you're not paying attention, you're going to be lost. What was step 1? Find the average. What is average? You're going to add them, then
subtract them.
No. You're going to add. It's literally right here. Find the average. Add the numbers, then divide by how many are there. Okay? So take your calculator and add 3 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 11 plus 15. Before you hit enter, make sure you typed it in all good, correctly.
Are there ever going to be like decimal types?
Yes. Okay, once you hit enter, that's not the average. All you did is what? So I'm going to write that down. I got 56 when I added. Now I have to divide by how many numbers are there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So divide by 7. And I got 8. Circle that. That is not your answer. That is the answer to step 1. Everybody with me? Step 2, you're going to take this number that you got and subtract it from every one of these numbers to come up with 7 new numbers. Okay? Are y'all ready? You're going to do 8 minus 3. What's 8 minus 3? You're going to write it, and now here's what you're going to do. You're going to mark it out that you already did it. Otherwise, you will get confused. Now you're going to do 8 minus 6. What's 8 minus 6? Mark it out that you did it. You're going to do 8 minus 6 for this 6, which is 2. Mark it out that you did it. Are y'all with me? 8 minus 7 is 1. 8 minus 8 is, you have to write it because it is a data number, okay? So I write 0. Now, watch what happens when I put in 8 minus 11. It gives me a negative, but I do not write the negative. I just write 3, okay? Because you're just finding the difference. And 8 minus 15 is also going to give me a negative, but I'm just going to write the positive numbers, so I write 7. All right, now what is step 3? Average the new list of numbers. So you do step 1 all over again, but to these numbers. So you add your new list and then divide again by how many are there. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus 3 plus 7. I got 20. And then I divide by how many are there. There's 7. If there was 7 in the original list, there's going to be 7 in your new list. And that is your answer. If we rounded to the hundreds place, 2.86. This is called mean absolute deviation. It is the average distance from the average. Okay, flip to the back. We're going to do one more example, and then you're on your own. All right, are y'all ready? Here, if you need it. It's on the board. Everybody good? All right, let's go through the 3 steps. What is step 1? Step 1 is average, which means add them, then divide by how many are there. Everybody go do it on your own. Add them, and then divide how many are there. When you added, did you get 322? All right, is that my answer? No. I must divide by how many numbers are there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, which is 64.4. You must write it how you see it. Circle that. That is the answer to step 1. That is not the answer. Are y'all with me? Step 2, what do? You subtract to make a new list of numbers. Now stop and listen to me. How many numbers were here?
5.
All right, so you are going to put 5 spaces. That's going to help you get organized because I need 5 new numbers. Good, I'll have you a paper. Do you write the negative value? No. So I'm going to do 64.4 minus 55. I got 9.4. And then you mark it out. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Just one. Okay. Are y'all with me or am I going too fast? Okay, now I'm going to do 64.4 minus 57. And I got 7.4. Mark it out. If you forget to mark it out, you're going to forget what you've already done. And now I'm going to do 64.4 minus 63, which is 1.4. Then I'm going to do 64.4 minus 72. Now, do I write the negative sign? No, I just write 7.6. And I mark it out. Then I have 64.4 minus 75, which is 10.6. All right, how many steps are there? 3 steps. So what is step 3?
Step 1.
Average the new list of numbers. So add and then divide. So we're going to add these numbers. So 9.4 plus 7.4, y'all should be doing it with me, plus 1.4 plus 7.6 plus 10.6. Hit enter. That's not your answer. I must divide by how many are there. Well, there's 5 again, which is 7.28. That is the final answer. Now, on the STAR test, to be honest, this wasn't even on it last year or the year before, but it was on it the previous year. If it's on there, there'll only be one question. Okay? And you have to remember the 3 steps. Here's where they try to trick you. This is going to be an answer option. For step 1, you have to know, to mark it out right away. Okay? And then sometimes they even put this as an answer option, to see if you'll forget to divide again. So when you're working through your steps, if you see this as an answer option, mark it out right away. That's the answer to step 1. That's not mean absolute deviation. Does that make sense? Okay? There's only 4 questions on your assignment today because it's a lot of steps, okay? If you miss 1, you make a 75 because they're 25 points apiece. So do not submit without checking with me. Everybody good? Go to the Google Classroom. I'm going to go post it right now.